My lack of confidence is literally killing me. Our afternoon trade on Friday was a perfect setup, and my lack of confidence did not allow me to hold on to secure the between like 50 and 100 points that I was given. We only took the 15 points, if you remember, and if you guys watched that. Today, I have a beautiful setup in the morning. It met all of my requirements. It was hitting the zones and the areas and the liquidity that I had marked out this morning before I started. And I had my stop, and I freaking manually exited it in the red before it hit my stop, which it never did hit my stop, and then it continued to go into profit well beyond my profit goal. But it is what it is. I was trying to be right, and I was trying to exit before the market told me I was wrong, and I talk about that a little bit later. But I recognize that now, and we're going to do better tomorrow. After that trade, I waited around forever in the afternoon chop trying to find something, and ultimately took another loss in the afternoon. This is why we have our stops and risk management, so that we can continue trading another day when we have a red day. So enjoy that. I'm going to just continue talking about Apex until this sale is over, but if anyone is out there interested in getting a prop firm, they have 90% off right now, and I have a link in the description that it would be great if you click that before you sign up. So yeah, you guys already know all about how that works. Enjoy the video, and we'll talk to you guys later. Would have liked this Friday afternoon buy side get taken out, but we did trade up above these swings, so maybe that's just what we were going after. See if we get a little fair value gap here. We came up above the London, which is this like early morning highs from back like around 1:46 a.m. Eastern. Traded above that, maybe making people think that we're just gonna rip up above that high that was created on Friday afternoon and maybe fill in this gap from the other day, but we'll see. There was a nice setup right in the morning. Wasn't gonna take it because I'm not supposed to be trading before 10 a.m. but have like a little Judas swing at 9:30, going below an RTH gap low, creating a fair value gap, taking out swing highs, and then we have a bearish fair value gap that acted as support along with a bullish fair value gap. So could have got in there and rode this up, but not part of my strategy, and I haven't really paid attention to those types of moves, but I can obviously point them out after the fact. I wasn't really paying attention at market open. I wasn't even on my chart, so I would like to go short here, but I really wanted to come up and hit that candle. Go ahead and try it. We'll sell up here at 135. But a stop above the highs. I would kind of probably target this swing, I think. But this is, I mean, that doesn't look good. But I mean, we do have a bearish fair value gap past this market structure, swing low, retest. We have some areas that we could be targeting, but we'll see what happens. If it doesn't work, we move on to the next one. Guess that one's not going to work. Maybe we shouldn't be looking for a setup if we're that close to a like liquidity zone. I mean, it's really wanting to go up in there. And that's a pretty strong high from Friday. Several strong ones. There's that one, and then this one. It's definitely, I'm just exiting. It's not working. I mean, we came up above the, typically a stop would be above the fair value gap candle, and mine was a couple ticks right above. I mean, I had it a little bit too high, I think, but we came up above these. If we do go down, it's not a big deal. I mean, it just wasn't working that time. I need to wait for a different. So I exited that manually. It never hit my stop, but I mean, it did come up above this candle, which typically that's where you would put your stop on these setups. So would have got stopped out there if I was following the rules exactly what like ICT says. I usually put mine above the swings that started the move, which I had mine up here. And it freaking, I mean, we did go above those, but not by much. Yeah, we could be in profit right now. We could also wait and see if we get like a setup around the London buy side, which then we could target down here. Maybe into this daily bullish fair value gap. I don't know. Well, let's keep waiting and see what else we can get. This could technically be an entry right here. With two fair value gaps like this, I think it's okay to treat that as one big one. And then plus we have like all these green candles. That could be treated as like one order block, but I'm not too much of a risk. Now I'm risking, you'd have to have your stop back up there, and I'm not doing that. Still would like to, I really would like to see us take out this buy side first though. Potentially why these aren't working. Why did we manually kill this? It was never, I didn't get stopped out. I should have just left everything alone. But again, we hit both of the areas that would have invalidated the trade. And I told myself I'll wait for another, if we get another bearish setup, we'll take it. We got one. I didn't take it. It's just too much of a risk after that losing trade. But that losing trade actually worked out. I'd be 50 points in right now. We were at 135. Could have just had our stop at 20 points like we're used to. Targeting that low, which I freaking pointed out. 50 points. Could have had our 50 points right there. Well, I think I'll come back after lunch. We missed our opportunity. We didn't miss it. We had it. We were in it. We didn't trust it. So I'm not going to chase anything right now because that was the trade to make for this 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. session. So we're going to have to come back after lunch and see what we can take then. All right, we took a break, walked away. Just to recap what happened this morning. I don't remember how much of it I went over earlier because I got a little pissed that we exited that. But I went into this morning with our London buy side drawn out, our London sell side and Friday sell side liquidity drawn out. As you can clearly see, market opened, Judah swing down, rip up into London buy side. This was just some additional buy side liquidity from Friday that was drawn up there. we were near the London range, so that's what we were looking at. Came up here, chopped around. This was the setup that I got in, shorted around 135. I had my stop a few points above these highs. As we came up here, I manually exited. My stop didn't get hit. Technically, yes, that invalidated this setup, but I killed it, and had I just left it alone, it would have worked out. Plus, we had another setup form right after. Had I not gotten into this one at all, I probably would have been more reluctant to trade this setup. However, I just took a loss. I didn't really want to jump right back in, but I need to just trust myself. My confidence is killing me. But yeah, we went from 135. I was targeting this low. That would have been 50 points. That's our goal, 50 points. As you can see, taking out London buy side should indicate we go to London sell side, and that's exactly what we did. I mean, I wasn't going to hold on for an hour, but had we did, that would have been a 135 point trade right there. So I need to take a break because that was frustrating that I took a loss. I manually killed it instead of letting my stop get hit, which it wouldn't have gotten hit. So right now we waited for lunch. We got our range. We got the London buy side. We got the lunch buy side, the lunch sell side between the hours of 12 and 1. We are inside this daily bullish fair value gap. We'll just wait and see. I would expect price between now and 1:30, or between now and like 2, to potentially come down and dig into this sell side down here. That would make sense that we would be tricking people into thinking that this move we're going to continue down. But if we were to come down here, we would start looking for a bullish fair value gap to go up to the lunch buy side. We could also, for the next 30-45 minutes, run up into the buy side, take that out, and then maybe look for a setup to come attack the sell side. So we don't need to predict what's happening. We are setting out a couple scenarios, and if one of those plays out, we look for a setup and we get in, and we have our targets and we have our stops in place, and we let it play out. A thing to note is that I need to be careful because I just feel like I missed out on that potential trade. So I can't let that affect me. I'm going into this waiting for a setup. I'm not going in this looking to take a trade or looking for a trade, because if I want to take a trade, I can take a trade. I could talk myself into getting in a trade right now that we came down the bottom of this bullish fair value gap. We came close to it, have a shift in market structure. I mean, I could jump in along right now if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. We could also come up into this bearish fair value gap that broke these lows and potentially short when it came here. But the setups that we're looking for are pointing out 2 areas of potential liquidity, waiting for one of those to get taken out with a signal that we're going towards the opposite side. So that's what we're going to do. Another thing to talk about that I just feel compelled to say, because it's something that I have struggled with and I've only just recently been made aware of it. So there's got to be other people potentially in the same boat and possibly have the same thoughts as me. But the reason why I killed this first trade right here is I had my stop and I manually exited before it hit the stop, and I have a history of doing that. And the reason why is I'm trying to be in control. I'm trying to decide if the trade works out or not, and it's not up to me to decide. It's up to the market to decide. I have my theory of the trade, I have my setups, I get in, and then I have my take profit and my stop loss. It's now up to the market to decide what happens. When it starts going in the wrong direction, and I kill it manually, that's me trying to take that control back and saying, I know I'm wrong. I'm going to go ahead and kill it before you decide it's wrong. It's the same thing about people you see like in TV shows and stuff. I'm sure it happens in real life, but people like quitting their job as they're getting fired. Like they're trying to take back that control. Like, you're not going to tell me I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I'm deciding that I was wrong. And that's what I did here. And I can't do that. I probably would have, had I left my stop, technically that would have just been luck that it worked out, because the stop should be above the fair value gap right here, where we definitely would have gotten stopped out, or like right above these highs, which we did run the highs, or we didn't run them, but we did make a couple points above those highs. So technically this did fail. However, it's okay that we have another setup that works out even better, that we could have got in back here. That would have taken like no drawdown at all and ran 50 points or more, 60 points right there, and then potentially over 100. So yeah, that, I'm sure someone else thinks the same thing. We as traders are trying to figure out the market, but it's all in terms of probability. We can't be the ones to decide. We can try our best to come up with strategies and setups where the probability is in our favor, but ultimately it's up to the market to decide if it wants to give us money or take money. I'm thinking that we this move down right here came halfway the wick on this little order block right there. I want to see us get through the fair value gap, treat it as support, get back up into this one, and continue working towards this lunch buy side liquidity. That would be great. I don't think we have any reason to come back down here at like 9:30ish. But we'll put it right beneath the order block over there. I really want to see us reach up into that lunch buy side though. Probably should have waited for us to get through that fair value gap. Like I said, we kind of had this fair value gap here, taking out swings and all of this actually. Came back in, retested it, this order block, another fair value gap. Yeah, I got in like way up here. How I justify that is that, well, we came down and did touch the order block and the fair value gap and then start working our way up. So if this plays out, then we can keep running. The stop is about what I would normally risk. If I was in way down here, the risk would be much smaller. Less than 10 points. But we're in it now, so let's see what happens. Damn, look how close that is. Why did I manually exit my first trade? Oh well. Crap afternoon. Sitting here watching this just got to me. I should have, what the hell's going on? What I wanted to happen never happened. I should have just got off instead of sitting here with the market teasing the whole time, which got to me, got in, got chopped up, took a loss. We move on to tomorrow. Get all this crap off here. I don't want to be reminded about it tomorrow. And tomorrow we come in with a fresh mind, and we're gonna do better. Hopefully you guys didn't. No one got chopped up in this. maybe you guys were able to recognize that and sit out. And if you follow ICT's principles, there has to be some of you out there that caught this move because it was just picture perfect. But let me know how you did, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.